Mr. Speaker. And I want to empathize with my brother, Deputy Speaker, Senator Katurin Murungi. Mr. Speaker, the brother, the relatives of the governor of Meru have been arrested. Up to now, the body of Sniper or the family have not buried Sniper. What is the police fearing to go for the big fish in arresting the perpetrators, the killers of Sniper, Mr. Speaker? This country, Mr. Speaker, is a country that respects the freedom of expression. Mr. Speaker, this is not a banana republic. This is not Jordan or Ukraine, Mr. Speaker. Why is it that the police are fearing to arrest the real culprits who killed the Sniper, Mr. Speaker? We shall stand with the people of Meru until they shall know mercy, Mr. Speaker, for people who killed, maimed. Now, as we talk, the wife, Mr. Speaker, the wife of Sniper has been sleeping on cold bed now, Mr. Speaker, for almost 2 months. The children can no longer see the face of their father, Mr. Speaker. The parents no longer have a son, Mr. Speaker. This is a serious matter. This is a terror-related, where even there's one in Katarakanidhi, and a blocker was killed, Mr. Speaker. The Blockers Association of Kenya are under threat. Mr. Speaker, I want to challenge my brother, Professor Senator Kithure Kindiki, the Majority Leader Emeritus, that he should go beyond arresting small fish in finding we need the financials. We need to be told why Sniper was being called by people connected to the governor. And what was Sniper doing in the governor's residence, where he was found, Mr. Speaker, when he had been killed a few hours later, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I hope the Committee of National Security must come strongly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that is what we want to see, and I wish the Committee of the Whole, Mr. Speaker, so that a Sniper is being put to rest. And Mr. Speaker, you remember, and in Meru, some of us who have been Anjurinjeka by association, Mr. Speaker, we had to convince the people of Meru not to bring the body of Sniper to the gate of Senate because they are trying to look for justice, Mr. Speaker.
As I conclude on the issue of one gentleman, Daniel Bernard alias Sniper. This is a young man, Mr. Speaker. The Kenya Kwanza government has put strategies of creating different opportunities for the young people. One of those opportunities, Mr. Speaker, is on content creation. We have a lot of young people who have embarked on making their revenue, their earnings, on content creation. And that is why during the finance bill, we looked at the taxation levels, and this was really lowered so that we can be able to encourage them to make a living, to earn something. And it is sad if through our political issues, then different young people coming up with their content creation to earn a living can be subjected to death. And sadly, Mr. Speaker, further to that, you realize that justice has not been served. The body of one Sniper is still lying in the morgue. As a woman with a husband, Mr. Speaker, how do you feel? How do you sleep? How do you eat? How do you drink? How do you socialize? When your man, when your spouse is lying in the morgue, simply because you await justice, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the wife of one Sniper, it is the high time, Mr. Speaker, that this statement from Meru County, you should stamp your stamp of urgency so that the committee that will be assigned to undertake this issue, this house fully, needs a quick feedback because children are crying somewhere. A woman is hurt somewhere. And this issue is still pending, Mr. Speaker. We are still awaiting as Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, because if we do not stop this, Mr. Speaker, then what happens to the others that we are still encouraging them when they're out there? With those many and few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I support.
Mr. Speaker, it breaks my heart as a mother of sons to see that our children, our young men, who are creating employment for themselves by content creation and becoming bloggers, being abducted and killed and no serious immediate action is taken. Mr. Speaker, they say justice delayed is justice denied. Why has it taken so long for this matter to be concluded and for those who perpetrated this to be brought to book? Why is it taking too long? It is a process that has happened elsewhere and conclusion is done. Why is it that when it comes to Meru, it is taking too long? Mr. Speaker, for me, it is really concerning me to see that Meru is on the spot for always wrong things. We had the governor for Meru twice in this house for wrong things. And now we are discussing about Meru because of justice delayed about sniper. Mr. Speaker, I would urge the Ministry for Interior and our friend, Honorable Kindiki, is a neighbor to Meru County, that he makes sure action is taken immediately, the perpetrators are brought to book, and justice is served for the family, the wife, the parents, the relatives, and the friends of Daniel Muthiani, alias Sniper. Mr. Speaker, if we allow as a house this to continue, we don't know who is next. We don't know who other young man is going to be taken, killed, and things are just put and swept under the carpet. We need quick action to bring this issue to conclusion.
Mr. Speaker, the death or the murder of a sniper is something that caught the whole country's attention, Mr. Speaker, because of the way this young man was killed and the way his body also was found. Mr. Speaker, if my memory serves me well, the body had been disfigured, I think using some acids, Mr. Speaker, and this was very sad. Mr. Speaker, the police must act. We pride in having the best investigative police service, Mr. Speaker. And so I just want to believe and hope that the police have not been compromised, because by now the killers, the perpetrators of this injustice should have been brought to book so far, Mr. Speaker. And the police must redeem their image, Mr. Speaker, in this particular matter, because it's a very serious and sad happening that should not happen. Mr. Speaker, we are politicians. Young men and women every morning will critique us. They will condemn us. They will even peddle half-truths and falsehoods against us every morning on social media, Mr. Speaker. But we must learn to live. And I'm not trying to presume that Sniper was killed by a politician. But Mr. Speaker, having been a blogger, it is very likely that this death was caused by a politician, Mr. Speaker. So we must learn that when we offer ourselves to serve the public, that then we expose ourselves and the people can say anything that they want to say against us, Mr. Speaker, and we must develop thick skins that anybody can say anything. The last thing that any person should think about is eliminating a young man or woman simply because they criticize them on social media, Mr. Speaker. And this is something that everybody that offers themselves for public service must learn, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in your statement, you also talked about harassment and intimidation against journalists and anybody, Mr. Speaker, that does bring information to the public. Mr. Speaker, I want to support that statement because everybody must be given their right to report whatever they want to report, Mr. Speaker. And if anybody has a problem, they should go to court and seek legal redress, Mr. Speaker. I say this because some of us also have been intimidated. Some of us may have said things that are not very kind to some people who are senior maybe in government. And Mr. Speaker, when we speak our minds, we must also be protected as politicians. Because if I rise and say that I stand up against intimidation, I stand up against open hatred, I stand up against disrespect, Mr. Speaker, by whoever it is in authority in this land or even out of this land, Mr. Speaker, I should be protected. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say that some of us also feel threatened because of the utterances that we have made against some people in powerful offices, Mr. Speaker. And that is why we must say, without mincing words, that people must be protected, that the law must protect us, that, Mr. Speaker, we have the freedom of expression.
Ningependa kuchangia taarifa ambayo umeileta hapa bungeni kama seneta wa Meru kutokana na kutekwa nyara na hatimaye kuuawa kwa mwana blogger sniper. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni jambo la kusikitisha kwamba hivi sasa ambapo tuna serikali ya Kenya Kwanza mpya, bado watu wanauliwa kiholela. Mheshimiwa Spika, hili jambo la kuua watu kiholela limekuwa likitokea na serikali zilizopita, lakini mpaka sasa donda sugu hili halijaweza kutibiwa na wananchi wa Kenya wakaishi kwa amani kama inavyosema katiba.